All right, we're going to get started in 2 minutes. I'm just pushing this out to the social medias and then we will knock this out. Thank you guys for coming in here and we will be right at it. All right, guys. Hey, Chuck with Traders War Room, and we are here at the lunchtime crunch. We're going to go ahead and hop into it and get started. I'm going to put a little music on because we like to trade with some music. So let's go see what we got. Okay. I can. All right, let's go ahead and get cracking. You guys can see I got my ugly sweater on for Christmas. We're gonna go ahead and get popping. All right, we're gonna start off. I want to look at SPY first. All right, let's look at SPY. We're gonna go ahead and hop into the 5 minute chart because that's what we're looking at. SPY, let's get organized real quick. SPY, we're looking like we popped up again. You can see that we, of course, got the buy signal using the trends and stuff like that, but we're starting to converge on our moving averages from a downtrend. So definitely, like we talked about on the video last night, we're seeing that buyer's exhaustion. Okay. Anytime we're talking about divergence, okay. Now, understanding divergence is going against the trend, right? The movie Divergence, those people, they didn't fall in line, right? They were that divergence, the ones that would go against the trend and stuff. That's what we're talking about with divergence here. So anytime you get these trends, and when you look at this from a perspective, we can go bird's eye view approach, right? 4 hour perspective. This is a significant move. I mean, we have absolutely exploded since, look, back in November, right? Mid-November, 436 all the way up to 475. I mean, it's just been nonstop, no real significant cooling. Now we've had some shifts lower a little bit, but nothing significantly cooling, right? Now, people that trade options are like, man, I've lost some money from the cooling stuff, but you're trading options. Okay. When we talk about cooling, we're talking about the underlying asset, the actual stock itself cooling, between 5 and 10%. That's technically what a cooling is, right? So that's really what we're talking about here in cooling. We're looking like we need to cool off. Okay. You're seeing the volume pumping, 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 right? A big pump here. And now we're starting to hit the cooling part. MACD, look at this. We're way above our threshold line with the MACD. Okay. So things are going to start coming back down to the downside. You can look at our RSI. I mean, we've just been riding above overbought for a minute. Okay. Now you can continue to keep going, but eventually the buyer's exhaustion happens where you got less people coming in at high volumes and you got not a lot of people coming out, but you don't have any new people coming in, so you're starting to get kind of hit that wall, and eventually people are going to be like, you know what, I made a killing, I've been in since over here, I made a killing, I'm going to go ahead and take some profits, let the cool down happen, and come back in for a new entry for the next push. All right. That's kind of what I got a feeling that we're about to start seeing. We got some downtrending pressure. We can go ahead and probably play the short here with a SPY. I'm going to go ahead and take a position. We're live trading, so why not take a position right here? Let's look at, I'm on my phone right here. Looking at SPY 21 December. Actually, we're going to probably give ourselves 22 December, pushing out just a little bit. Let's go ahead and go to that 473 put. 473 put. It has the volume. I like it. Let's go ahead and we're just going to go get two of them. Okay. They're at $50 per contract, two of them. And we're going to go ahead and knock that out. Cost us $100 for two of those. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Once it fills almost automatically, it filled right there. We're in $50 SPY. 273 puts pushing out to the 22nd. All right. Basically, our target that we're looking for is we're looking for cool down pressure to probably around here, right? Let me get rid of this line here. All right. We're looking for cool down pressure to around here. All right. We'll probably expect some resistance here, probably a little bit of jolting around and stuff like that. And if we can get the follow through, then we might get a flush from just random selling pressure continuation down here. And this is probably where we'll look to exit. Okay. Now, if it looks good, like we may end up getting some decent pressure to the downside, like some real cooling, then we'll go ahead and keep the swing. But for right now, we're just looking at catching some of this momentum. So that was 273 put 22nd December. We got in at 50 and it looked like we might even be making some money right now. 53. Okay, so we're up a little bit on our position currently. Oh, I love these guys, man. I saw these guys live at Sandstone. We're up 8%, guys. Okay. Goal 10% is where we like to take trims. Go ahead and look for a trim at 10%. We only got two contracts. If you guys went in a little heavier or whatever, 10% is where we usually want to look for trims or at least adjust that stop loss, moving it up above break even. And therefore it's risk-free at that point. 54. So we're at $4 per contract on that trade. We'll go ahead and keep monitoring that. Let's look at another one. Same thing on Q. Okay, you could do the same pressure on Q. Q's looking like we're losing a little bit of steam as well, and that's just basically because of all of the other stocks that are in the Q just pumping as well. I mean, when we go out to the bird's eye view approach, we can just look at this. I mean, you see the Q pumping, so let's look at the main components of the Q. Right? What's in the Q? Apple. All right, pumping. Right? Meta. Oops. Meta pumping. Okay. Again, Microsoft pumping, NVDA pumping, right? I mean, we're looking at all these stocks that are AMD, oops, pumping, right? Netflix, we're in Netflix calls, by the way, too, pumping. Netflix calls are doing fairly well. All right, so when we look at the Q, all these main components of the Q are all pumping, right? That's why the Q's pushing so hard, all right? So we're looking for the same type of play on Q here, looking for some downtrending pressure, probably about the same line that we're looking for with a SPY. Typically, SPY and Q run very similar because a lot of the mega cap stocks that are in both of them run similar. We're looking for the cool down to this part and then potentially follow through. Now we got a little bit different thing. Q ran pretty hard coming here. So when you're looking for your follow through point, you want a point of good egress, right? Where you had kind of a shelf. And we're looking at probably about here because this is where we kind of had our decision point from when we originally ascended, right? We pop, and then we kind of made some decision points and stuff here, right? And then we popped up again. So we're looking for probably follow through to here. If we can get the close below here, we probably can get the swing, feel confident about the swing over. Remember, 3 reasons why to push to buy. Downtrending below our moving averages. 1, main chart always has to come. This is your main decision factor for your decisions off your main chart here. All right, sub indicators just confirm. All right, there's people out there that say you don't need sub indicators. You just move off a price action. That's kind of a strat type strategy. Hey, if it works for them, great. I'm old school in my trading. I've been doing the price action trading and off of indicators and stuff for it's too long to really, you know, not say it's valid, okay? Because I've just seen time and time again indicators giving you that confirmation. Okay, so I use them for confirmation. MACD pushing downside, SMI pushing downside, cooling, TTM squeeze, cooling on the stop. Three reasons why to push to buy. This gives us our signals looking like the downtrending pressure is happening. Probably pushed here. And then if we get follow through to here, where if we can swing below this on a 15-minute best, 5-minute chart, okay, we probably look for the swing through the next day to the downside. We're not going to take this trade. We already took the trade on SPY though. Tesla pumping. Okay, we're in calls on Tesla. All right, listen, we averaged down on our calls down here. Right, probably could have averaged down a little bit lower. Catching this would have been great. Catching the very bottom would have got it better. But in the zone here, we were able to capture. We were able to captivate some of the downtrending pressure so we can ascend up. Right. I still got by the end of the week. I still have Tesla pushing above 260. Okay. And here's the reason. When I'm looking at this chart, put the 1 hour chart on. All right. Actually, we'll go out a little bit further. I want a little more history. All right. So when we're looking at these charts, right, all we're doing is we're trying to make valid assessments, okay? All right, there we go. We got a good pressure here. So anytime we're looking at these charts, we're looking for just the next level. So we're already up here. You can put a line here. Remember, lines aren't set in stone. These are zones, basically. Anytime we put a line on something, we're making a zone, all right? So we got this 257 area, pretty much current levels where we're at, right? Well, when we look over here, historically, we haven't been there recently, but we've been flirting with that 260 area. But we look over here historically, and there's just tons of price action at that particular level with support higher. And then you go over a little bit further, support higher. So if we're in that bullish reversal trend to the upside, which the chart right here would say that we got something, we have to break these levels in order to confirm it, right? But when you're looking at the trend line, right? I mean, look, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, other than right here, we dipped a little bit lower than that. But when you're putting the line from here to here, we're looking really good for breakout potential. Okay. And when Tesla breaks out, it breaks out hard, and it has been higher before. And you could see a dramatic push on Tesla. You could see a 5 to 10 pop on Tesla. I wouldn't even put it past Tesla on a really bullish day and some, crazy news to break and push to 275. All right. Now, will that happen? I don't know, but definitely I'm long. I averaged down, like I said, on our trade that we had over here. Average down, and we're looking for the break above here, and we're looking for the follow through to breach the high of the day, which would be, I don't like the tippy tip here. We're looking for the breach of this above this line, so we get the good idea for continuation to the upside. So that's what we're looking for on Tesla. By the way, Marilyn Manson, I know you guys, the religious angle and stuff like that, but he puts on one heck of a show. I saw him back when it was the Family Values tour with Korn, Limp Bizkit back in the day. By far one of the best performers out there. A little crazy, a little freaky, I'll give you that, but a fantastic performer, man. Absolutely a great show. That one, Alice Cooper, uh, Tool, and Limp Bizkit didn't put on too good of a show. The music was good. They didn't put on a good show. Korn was pretty good though. All right, be back to focus. Netflix. So we're long Netflix right now. Well, a little bit of a decline. That's okay. We're looking for a little bit of a cool down. As long as we stay in higher than previous, we'll look for the break to the upside, hoping to surpass and hold above this 500 level. That's what we're looking for, right? We want to stay above this 500 level where we got all this price action here. We can even put the line up here a little bit because we have some decent price action on the 5 minute. You know, we want to stay above this level. It's 500. All right. Because we got multiple candles here on the 5 minute chart that breached and stayed above that. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Got a nice trend going here. All we just need is to pop. All right. We would love to get another pop like we had here. A pop here. All we need is another pop like that, and we'd be good on our trade. If you guys have any stocks you want to look at, man, go ahead and hop into the chat section and drop off some charts and stuff. I'm just going to start going through some of the regular stuff that I know people like to look at, and we're going to just blast through this for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to get you guys onto your way for your lunch. So here we go. If you got a specific chart, just go ahead and push it. AMD 5 minute. Looking pretty bearish on AMD, but it's ran pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if we catch a little bit of downtrending pressure. I mean, this thing went from like 100 to 140 with nothing, just on some good news and stuff. So looking pretty bearish right now. Definitely signals are going to the downside, so might be a good opportunity to go ahead and short this. If we breach the low of the day, we probably want to look for the swing on that one. Oops. Microsoft curling to the downside, a little jackknife. So with Microsoft, we need to be cautious. Okay, it's curling, but what we do is we want it to breach our slow moving average. Okay, we breached here because we don't want to hop into shorts without it breaching. It breached here, right? But we want it to go ahead and breach our slow moving average on the day. Once it breaches that, we can go ahead and feel probably like we got some downtrending pressure coming, and we can go ahead and go short swings. If we don't breach this, then we probably want to wait for the next push because we'll probably get a rejection and a pop back up. Inverse cup and handle there. See the handle here? Inverse cup. All right, so we're looking for the downtrend at least towards this area here, 374-ish, something like that. Apple. I already told you guys about my short case theory on Apple. Right? Can only stay elevated so much. I like Apple pushing down. I told you this is my 50. If you guys go into the forum on TWR Discord, I wrote a whole case study on my idea for the short theory. Give it real plain and simple. If we stay below this line here, because this is our 50-50 line on an upward box, we stay below this line on a 5-minute, 15-minute chart, we're looking for downtrending pressure towards 195. Put it simply. MetLife, what is that? Oh, this is an insurance thing. This one might be interesting if you want to play this. Got a nice little gap to the upside to the downside. Kind of consolidating. Downtrend right now though. Signals. If we get a strong uptrend above the moving average, you may want to look for the push towards here. Sometimes you don't follow these, but it's just all of a sudden I was thinking this was meta and I hit met. But yeah, you've got an opportunity for a nice little pop here, 2 gaps. So we fail the moving averages. We look for the gap fill to the downside. We keep the moving averages, look for the gap fill to the upside. So met, it's fairly cheap. Let's look at it. Give ourselves some time. We got any volume? That's the key to that. Look, not in. The 66 call got some volume, but hardly any volume on options. A little more volume coming closer. So lower volume on this one. Yeah, so if you did trade this, you wouldn't want to go into anything more than like 1 or 2, because you'd have trouble slipping out of it if you were making money off of it. So pretty much kind of not worth it actually, unless you go closer to the area. This is the one with the biggest volume, but it's kind of pricey for the smaller accounts. So, probably not something we're interested in. Let's move on. Guys, that you want volume, you want liquidity. All right. If you're trading options, you want volume and liquidity. You saw how I was looking at Met. It made me excited. I was like, ooh, we could trade this. But when you're looking at it and you look at the volume, there's no volume on the day, which means if we were to pop up into this area and we say made, you know, some money, made 50 cents on our delta, maybe a dollar on our delta, pushed up 50, $100, right? Well, we'd have trouble slipping out of it because potentially the bid ask would be wide and the people coming in and out of it wouldn't be to the point to where we can easily slip out. So we don't want that. We want high volume, high liquidity so we can slip in and out like like a boxer, slip the jab. That's what we want to be able to do. Slip jabs all day. FDX. Let's look at FDX again, guys. Who played that FDX trade with me? Huh? If you did, we banked hard this morning, guys. I'm telling you, look at this. Look at this beauty. Went in at close on a lotto, rode that. We were in the money in after hours, and then it just continued to ascend, man. We were able to flip 40 into $850. There was even a point where it was like 950. I wasn't able to capture that one, but I got at 875, man. 875 on one contract. Fantastic trade. So holding this level down here, pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a pop though, but I wouldn't be trading it. Not right now, no longs or anything like that. It's probably going to consolidate for a little bit until it makes a decision. Amazon. Amazon doing this little jackknife thing, man. It's pissing me off. I'm not in this trade yet, but I have a short case theory on this one. But it's so the bullish case on Amazon, it came with the FDX, right? Because here's the deal, right? FDX's numbers were crushed very bad. And one of the reasons is because of their prime or their elite packaging numbers were so crappy. Well, people aren't using FDX for packaging things. They're using Amazon. They're buying directly from Amazon. Amazon is kind of taking over the postal service stuff, right? So they're putting these FDX out of business. UPS is, got better prices on ground shipments. So does DHL when you're looking at wholesale train shipments and stuff like that. And so FDX is kind of sitting there just holding the bag, and Amazon's reaping some benefits. But I still like the short case here. We saw that we rejected up here at 155. I like to push back to 150. But we need to break inside of our battle zone. If we stay elevated above our battle zone, we may need to rethink our case on this one. But if we start to close below inside of our battle zone, we're gonna take the short trade to the downside for pressure towards 150. IWM staying elevated. Short case theory on IWM. IWM can't stay elevated forever. Likelihood of a $2 drop back to 200, easy. Okay. On a downtrending significant play, IWM could go to 198 off so very easily. Now, IWM also usually is a precursor trend to the SPY and the QQQ. So just remember that if you start to see IWM trend to the downside, you'll usually see SPY and the Q start trending that way as well. Maybe not the same day, but in the next coming days. So just pay attention to that. Okay, precursors type of stuff. Doesn't always happen, but happens enough that you take note of it. Pay attention to it. All right, last one. Meta. All right. Let's go ahead and put triggers on this one. To the top, close above this, look for longs. Close below this, look for shorts. All right, right in range. Okay. We want to close above this on a 15-minute chart, look for the swing long. We want to close below this 15-minute chart, look for the swing low. If we want to trade this on the day, okay? If we want to trade this on a day, I suggest getting triggers and keeping them tight, right? Keeping triggers tight. Here. Here. Oops. Making triggers. Now these triggers are day trading triggers, okay? We trigger off of this. We're looking for long on a day trade with an attack towards the previous high, okay? And we're looking to take profits. We trigger here. We're looking at an attack towards the recent low with potential follow through to the low of the day. All right, that would be fantastic. Okay, but you're looking for with the recent low. All right, so there's your triggers on Meta. All right, guys, Chuck with TWR. This is your lunchtime crunch. I hope we gave you something to kind of get, a little mind juices flowing. Go out there, make some money. Don't forget, we got the video tonight. It's going to be the midweek set rep. You guys want to pay attention to that on the YouTube because that's going to have all of the midweek trends and stuff like that. Got a whole lot of stuff in store for you. Don't forget, we got the town hall coming up at the end of December where we're going to pitch all of our new stuff for 2024. And just remember, guys, we want you to open that door in 2024 with TWR. And as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war. Let's go out there and make some money.